All right, welcome back to another episode. Myself, Luke. So, what is going on with Bitcoin? So, in yesterday's episode, we did speak about that Bitcoin was taking a bit of a bit of a pullback, and right now we're sitting at $87,200 worth of Bitcoin. So, nothing too much to worry about. Yes, across the space, everything's in the red for today. The Bitcoin dominance is sky high. I mean, over the course of the last 3 days, we have actually broken above. I didn't think it would go back above 60%. The longer this goes on for, then basically altcoins are not going to pump as much as we want them to. Might have a rally or two here and there, like we've had over the past. We've had it a few times over the past few years. We just had one last week, but in terms of the Bitcoin dominance, it's still sky high before we can hit the altcoin season. Personally, I thought, and I was, it looks like, well, I am wrong at the moment, is that this pattern here, I did say that we had just started the altcoin season, but we've reversed back into the 60% range. So the positive is you can still get into altcoins while they're relatively cheap. As the dominance is so sky high, it means that the altcoins haven't pumped yet. Most of these, even Ethereum, hasn't really, nothing's gone past its all-time high yet except Bitcoin. So we're still pretty early in the market in terms of the altcoins. For Bitcoin, is it over to jump into Bitcoin? I don't think so. If you want to trade, you can jump into this. I still believe that we're going to go way above 120k. That's why I've got this pattern here. This was the cup and handle pattern. We've reached our target of the bull flag, so I'm going to get rid of this now. So this is no longer valid unless if you measure it from the top of the bull flag, then yeah, it points to like 95,000 US dollars. But for my community, we've reached that target. So congratulations to anybody that jumped into this trade. You hopefully have taken some profits off the table. So just bear in mind, we do have I've mentioned this already, we do have a CME gap. Let's go to the daily. Let's just zoom in here. We have a CME gap. Doesn't look great. All the way down here at 77 to 81,000 US dollars. And 90% of the time, CME gaps tend to get filled up sooner rather than later. So that would be a negative 11% decrease. But this would be a massive opportunity if you want to take a trade. Maybe put a buy order down here at the CME gap close, and then you can trade this thing up. So that's just 1 point. Obviously, you've still got 10-20% that it doesn't fill up, but from experience, most of the time, CME gaps do tend to get filled up sooner rather than later. If it doesn't get filled up and we continue to blast off to 100,000, then we could say that this CME gap will probably get filled up during the next bear market. So just pay attention to that. If we go to the lower time frame, something I noticed last night when I was looking at the technicals, we do have, in my opinion, if we're looking at the bullish sentiment, we have a head, the left shoulder, and we're forming the right shoulder just now. Maybe, I'm not too sure about this shoulder, it's quite low. Normally you want it parallel with the left shoulder, but anyway, it's just what I'm seeing in the technicals. We do have this head and shoulders pattern. So if we were to break this, you need to put it here, so from the neckline, roughly about here. So if we were to pump up to this and form this right shoulder, then the price target would be basically the bottom of the head to the neckline, and we can measure it like that. So that would take us up to $92,255. So 92k would be the price target for this head and shoulders pattern. So something to look out for. So we've got two possibilities. If you want to trade this, then wait for this neckline to be broken, and then when we when we get past the neckline with sufficient volume, you can trade this up. It's only a small 3% rise, but just make sure you have a nice stop loss. So you can set a long position stop loss just above here, and then make sure you don't lose more than 0.5% or 1% maximum. So let's just put it here at 1%. So just you take that trade on the breakout, and then this would be a nice 3 3 to 1. It's a small trade if you want to take this. So my opinion, wait for the breakout, or I'm going to wait to put in a trade if this CME gap gets filled up. So that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Just some news on Dogecoin. So pro crypto President Donald Trump elect appoints Elon Musk as head of Doge. Not quite what you think. So it's not Dogecoin. I've just heard that he's bought 45 million worth of Doge, even though it's dumping at the moment. So what does this mean? Basically, he's going to be the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. That's why I just said Doge. So they're just playing with the words. So yeah, he is now the head, or is going to be the head of Doge. Not the coin, but it's clever what they're doing. So let me know what you think to that. If you think Dogecoin is going to go above $1. I don't even know what the price is at the moment. Let's check that out. Where is Doge? Let's have a look. Dogecoin is currently sitting at 37 cents. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just keep rallying up to the upside if we go way past $1 with Dogecoin. So I haven't got any of Doge. Maybe you have, so let me know if you think Doge is a good trade or a good investment. So I think it is, but yeah, I try to stay away from meme coins as much as possible. I have like 2 to 5% worth in meme coins. All right, so just one more thing just to finish. The Bitcoin dominance. So like I just said, we are at 61%. That's the reason why the coins are bleeding. So my altcoins are obviously down at the moment, but I use this as an opportunity to buy up the dips in the altcoins, because what's going to happen is if we go to the weekly, let's just get rid of this. So what we're going to see is something like this eventually. So we are right now at the beginning, in my opinion, or I did say at the beginning of the altcoin season, but yeah, I mean, I was most likely wrong there because we're obviously going up with a Bitcoin dominance. But the good thing is we can still buy more altcoins while they're cheap, while the dominance is sky high. What you don't want to do is start buying altcoins when the dominance has already fallen down all the way down here at 40%. Then it's too late. I mean, that's when it's mainstream media and you're going to get absolutely wrecked. So if you're going to jump into altcoins, I know it's not easy when you see things in the red, but it's the best opportunity to jump into altcoins right now for relatively cheap prices. Most of these altcoins haven't even gone past their all-time high yet. I'm jumping into gaming and AI because I believe that will be the narrative of the market. And what's going to happen is eventually this has to come down at some point. And I predict that we're going down to 40%, and this 40% range here, because we've clearly got a bottom just here around the 39-40%. I think this will be the bottom and the beginning of the bear market. So whenever that happens, it remains to be seen. Probably sometime mid 2025 is when we will start seeing the crash in the market going into 2026. So if you want to try and, you can't time the market, but just to give you some ideas, when you start seeing mainstream media talk about it all over the mainstream media, I mean, Tom, Dick and Harry talking about it in the street, then alarm bells should go ringing off. And when you definitely see the Bitcoin dominance down 40%, maybe into 30, the 30% range, then you know it's time to take profits and probably to start selling your assets. Again, not financial advice, but it's just my opinion only. So that's pretty much it for today's episode. Again, just be careful out there. It's going to be an absolute emotional roller coaster as we go up to our target of 120,000 US dollars. So a lot of, we're still early in the market. So a lot of things to look forward to. So that's pretty much it for today. Let me know in the comments what you think. Leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.